Does Auschwitz just like fall from the sky?
Nope.
Like tyranny just appear out of anywhere?
Doesn't do it like that.
It pitter-patters.
Canadians just declared royal consent on gender issues in Canada. Royal consent.
They're not God.
That means they just voted without debate.
They think they're God.
Both sides of conservatives and liberals came together and said, yes.
Is this the Enlightenment again? What is going on?
Over.
It's worse.
Hey, y'all, it's good to be with you. This is Cross Politics Sunday Special. It's good to be with you on NRB TV, Xfinity, podcast, social media. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you guys. Of course, my favorite GIF is in the background doing the Merry Christmas thing because it's Christmas. And this is about the last week you could join our club and get the man box shipped in on time before Christmas.
But you can keep doing it.
You can still keep doing it, yeah.
But if you want it for the Christmas present.
Yep.
I like the fact that we have cigars in there.
You know, but you could
White
think of
Laffy cigars.
It could be like a 12th day of Christmas present.
Oh.
Ooh.
Epiphany present.
Here at Cross Politics, we do 13 days of Christmas.
We do 13.
14.
But 21. Why not?
Christmas stops January 31st here in Idaho.
That's right.
Hey, if you're looking for something other than a 4-year college degree, this ad is for you. College is great, but it's not for everyone. Cornerstone Work and Worldview Institute seeks to fill that gap. Their mission is to build kingdom culture in the workplace through an integrative program of worldview instruction and on-the-job skills training under the guidance of mentors. They offer courses in Bible, theology, and economics.
I wish David Bonson would teach that for you.
You know, they're probably reading his books.
Yeah.
As well as business, project management, and marketing and more. They provide their students with internships with one of their business partners so they can learn and gain practical skills. They invite you to join their mission to provide Christians another educational opportunity. Together, they can help their students grow confident in their faith and competent in their labor. I like that. Visit them at cornerstonework.org to learn more, to enroll, or to partner with them.
Do you guys know who our Surgeon General is?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Well, according to our Surgeon General, this is his name. His name, our U.S. Surgeon General,
I love this
Vivek Murthy.
Oh, pretty good.
It sounds like a commie. I mean,
Dang,
Vivek Murthy.
Dang.
He said this past week, he said that the pandemic had caused anxiety, depression, and other mental health concerns to increase in our young people and our youth.
Was it the pandemic or was it the lockdowns?
It was the government.
Well, and this got me thinking, we've been saying this for a long time here on Cross Politics, almost since March 2020.
Yeah.
Well, shutdowns don't work. You remember that episode we went through? We're like, shutdowns don't work. We did it a lot.
We did that.
Shutdowns don't work. And the cure is worse than disease. We've been saying, the cure is worse than disease.
That's right.
Yeah. And they shut down everything, and then are somehow now concerned about the collateral damage in our children's mental health. Like this is all of a sudden a concern.
Wait. Collateral damage in their kids' mental health.
Not ours, because they ain't doing what you want them to do. And so look. We've allowed our government to define what public health care is. We let them do that we've been letting them do that for really since the 70s, right? For a long time. Yeah. We've allowed them to what constitutes as a pandemic. We let them define what a pandemic is.
Or redefine
it.
What a vaccine is.
And then we let them just make up out of thin air how to deal with a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Arbitrary.
And so we should not be surprised that their way to solve the problem is worse than the actual problem itself.
Right.
And now, in this article, they're defining what mental health is.
Right. It's like Reagan, remember it was this famous quote, like the most scary words in English language are, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
And just I think it was 2012, the definition of a mental health disorder included transgender people.
In 2012.
Right.
So long ago.
It's not that long ago. It's crazy.
And now if you're in Canada and you tell someone that they're wrong, you could go to jail for 5 years.
That's right. So we're letting them.
That law passed.
So don't let them define what mental health is.
Right. This reminds me of that statue of Stonewall Jackson they pulled down last year in Richmond, Virginia.
They're going to be melting that, aren't they?
Remember that? What?
Are they supposed to be melting that statue, if I remember correctly?
Maybe so. But listen to this. They brought it down because it was a public health threat.
I don't know to who.
Yeah. Remember, this is during all the Black Lives Matter riots and everything else. But so they needed to pull it down because it was a public health threat due to the likelihood of emotional anguish leading to riots and violence. Because when you just see that statue, you just got to riot. You got to burn down police
Yeah, yeah.
stations, and
Just, you know,
Or you just cry. You're so weak, you just cry.
So, as you noted, Gabe, the standard or definition for mental health is quickly evolving. Like they're doing whatever they want with it. And when you reject God's law, it's only a matter of time before you attack God's law and those who support it. There's no neutrality. There's actually no neutrality.
Wait for our interview with our Canadians.
Absolutely, right? The other thing to note here is that the U.S. Surgeon General thinks many other Americans think that it's his job to take care of our mental health. That's what that article from The Hill assumed. And it's his job to take care of the mental health of our children. But he and the federal government need to get the hell out of my health care.
Preach, preacher.
That is right.
Preach, preacher.
And I'm not using that word flippantly or lightly. Yeah. The end road of centralization is hellish.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? We're talking about hell. Right? That's why I mean, get the hell out of my medical care, my health care decisions. It's not your job. Centralization, thinking you can make good decisions for everyone from some high tower. I don't know, let's call it Orthanc. You get that joke yet? Nope, you don't. Okay. Is supreme arrogance and pride to think at a central power, you can just make healthcare decisions for people beneath you. Yeah. Right? What is that?
Millions of people beneath you, thousands of miles away.
It's a claim to be God.
That's right. It's
a claim to be God, but playing
it's
God. It's
royal consent.
Yeah, playing God never turns out well. If you can play God by forcing medical decisions on me and my family, eventually you can play God by deciding that people who don't want to take your stupid advice, like Christians, have mental health issues themselves and they need treatment because they are unclean and unwashed and they are a danger to society.
And we need to listen to, what's his name here, Marian
Oh,
Tursky.
Wait a second. First, I just think Pastor needs one of these.
Got it.
Because that's just how good what he said was. What has been happening lately, I was on Twitter and I was looking at what was going on in Austria and I was awakened.
Yeah.
I found this particular clip we're about to play and I'm thinking that we need to go back to 1931.
Yeah, we need to do some
and then,
history lesson. Yeah,
and history lesson and hear things in a whole new way and start attaching it to the current situation we're in. And listen, so this is Marian Tursky. He was a survivor of Auschwitz, was there having back in 2020 in January. Listen to me. January 27th, 2020.
It was almost like God sent a prophet.
Now, if you don't...
Trump shut down travel to China on February 1st or January 30th.
So you still had a chance to listen to the prophet.
So God sends a prophet. Now, listen, let's pause that, hold that, put a pin in that for a second. In Austria, what's happening right now, they have actually separated the vax from the unvax, and the unvax have basically no attachment to society anymore. Unless they get vaccinated, they're confined to their homes for only 5 different reasons, and they can't
only 5.
Only 5. Go out and get some food, but you get back in your house. They have been separated from society in Austria. Here's what's amazing about this clip back in January 27, 2020. Marian, who is a survivor of Auschwitz, called out the Austrian president at the beginning. This is a 22-minute video. You have to see all of it. He calls out the Austrian president as he begins to give his talk, and he says, "The Austrian president told me, we had this conversation that Auschwitz doesn't just fall from the sky."
The Austrian president told him.
The Austrian president told Marian that listen,
fall out of the sky.
It doesn't fall out of the sky. And then Marian goes on to give how we actually get to the place where we got Auschwitz.
Here's 4 minutes.
You can read an inscription on the benches. Jews must not sit on these benches. You could say, it's unpleasant, it's not fair, it's not right. But after all, there are so many benches around. You can sit somewhere else. Of course you can. There was a swimming pool, and over its door an inscription read, "Jews are forbidden to enter." You could say, well, pleasant this is not, but there are so many places in Berlin where you can take a bath or swim, so many lakes, canals, it's nearly like Venice. At the same time, you can read somewhere else, Jews must not belong to German singing associations. So what? All right. They want to sing, they want to make music. Let them just meet somewhere else. They will do their singing.
Wow.
All right. What comes up later is an order, really. More of an order than of an inscription. Non-Aryan children must not play with Aryan children, with the German children. All right, they'll play on their own. And then you read, we only sell bread and food to Jews after 5 p.m. Right? Less choice. This makes your life harder. But after all, after 5 p.m. you can still do your shopping. Now, I warn you, I'm getting used to a thought. That thought that someone may be excluded becomes mediated into our lives. The thought that somebody can be stigmatized, that someone may be alienated. And that's how it is done, step by step, slowly. People begin to see that this is something normal. Both victims and the perpetrators, the witnesses, those whom we in English call bystanders, those who see it become familiar, and they become acquainted with that thought, familiar with the idea that the minority that produced Einstein, Nelly Sachs, Henry Heine, Mendelssohn's, and many Nobelists, that it is different, that it can be pushed beyond the margin of the society, that they are different people, that they are alien people, that they are the people that carry germs, that cause pandemics.
What?
Wow.
And this now is a horror that's dangerous. This is where what may happen soon takes its origin. And here you see how the words of the president come true. Auschwitz did not fall suddenly from the skies. It was pittering, pattering in all those tiny steps. It was approaching until what happened here behind me did happen.
Auschwitz did not fall from the sky, and it came pittering and pattering.
If you
Those
look at
tiny
the
steps.
the people who showed up were world leaders. All of them were there. You have to wait for the third segment to see one of the other people who happened to be there. This is gonna. He's giving this talk in front of
Those bricks.
World leaders.
and Auschwitz itself.
This is at Auschwitz.
He's giving this talk in January 27th. Right, and he actually said how you can see how these people were seen to be germy and the ones who start pandemics.
They cause pandemic.
Right.
And here we are right now.
Right.
Guys, I'm just, this is almost biblical in one sense where you got a prophet who comes in, 75th anniversary of Auschwitz, telling you, hey, remember how we got here.
Right.
Remember what it took to get here.
Right.
And he's talking to the leaders.
Yes.
and warning them.
Yeah.
Almost, hey, guys, something is coming. And 2 months later, it's like the people who were sitting there had no ears.
Yeah.
And it seems like we're in the place right now where we don't understand what's happening. Guys, we are repeating history, and it's absolutely
that's right.
insane where we're at right now. You have to stay here for
this
Pastor
interview.
Andrew and Pastor Michael in Canada talking about if Auschwitz is closer to them in Canada than we would hope for, and what we can do to possibly stop it here in America.
Man.
More Cross Politic coming up next. Woo!